Hello beautiful people, welcome back to the Cali Cave. The sun is shining outside. I'm here to talk to you guys today about how we can maximize our training in the sun and what we can do to get the most out of static holding and isometrics. So let's get into it. So you might be thinking, what are statics? What are isometrics? Well, in calisthenics terms, when we start working on those major skills, so the front lever, the back lever, anything in the air on the rings, when we come into those holds and we're looking to hold them for as long as possible with that maximum engagement through the muscles, through our connective tissue and the joints, that hold that we're trying to do is called a static or an isometric hold, and we're trying to build our stamina in those positions so that we can hold them for as long as possible. It's almost like you're training for the splits. The only way to work those statics and isometrics is to work them. There isn't really a way around that. You just have to work them for as long as you can, as many times as you can. But if you're not training those skills, you might be thinking, how does all this apply to me? Well, I would suggest a good way of testing an isometric that everyone can do wherever they are is to do a full minute-long plank, a full minute-long side plank on each side, and then a full minute in tabletop position. Now that, as 4 minutes, is enough of a workout in itself. So the reason that isometrics and statics are so good in hot weather, like the weather we're having now, is because we don't have to expend loads of energy and get our heart rates up super high. We can do it in a way that keeps us more still. It gets a sweat on, trust me, and it works the muscles that we need to work, but also it just helps us to focus on that time under tension. So when you're in those static positions, you can become aware of how every muscle engages. If you're struggling with form in an exercise, I would always recommend practicing statics or isometrics in each segment of the movement. So for example, in a squat, let's say you're struggling with form at the bottom, I just want you to go down into the bottom of the squat and just hold that. And you will start to feel it, trust me. And you become aware of how your muscles are working. And then in the middle, let's say you're struggling in that middle point where you really need to push through the range. You need to squeeze those glutes and the quads at the same time. Hold. Struggling a little bit more at the top, closer to the top. Hold. And so on. And it teaches us that correct muscle engagement, and it also helps us correct our form, so it will help us correct our balance, and it will give us much more solid motor control for those movements. Using statics and isometrics is fantastic for not only learning correct muscle engagement through every stage of the movement, but also for helping us improve our form and improve our motor control through the movement. And as we improve our form and get better in those positions, we can start to add more weight and get stronger and carry on up the pyramid. You might be thinking, okay, yeah, we've got our 4 minute plank, but how else can I implement this kind of work? So I would say, for example, if you're doing a press up, hold right at the bottom of the movement for the longest time you can. Hold in the middle of the movement for the longest time you can. Hold at the top of the movement for the longest time you can. Same with pull-ups. Hold at the bottom point of your engagement, not dead hang, but at the bottom point of your engagement for as long as you can. Work up to the mid, hold for as long as you can, and at the top as long as you can, and the same on the way down. And you will find, before you know it, those static holds are really working you. Other skills, such as the planche, we can use a set of rings and put our feet through them and work on our tuck planche. Because what the rings enable us to do is hold our feet in that position, in that tuck position, so we're really engaging the core, working the width through the arms. And trust me, you try holding a tuck planche for a minute, it's going to test you and you're really going to feel it. So what statics and isometrics, especially in weather like this, enable us to do is fix those holds in longer positions. We get to really focus on our engagement, and we still get the maximum amount of work we can while our body is conserving the most energy it can. So we're going to be less prone to dehydration, we're going to be less prone to DOMS, which is delayed onset muscle soreness, and we're going to feel like we've had a better workout and have more energy for the rest of our day. So team, that is my guide for you to statics and isometrics. If you want to find out more about statics and isometrics, get in touch in the comments of this video or ping us a message at Cali Unity and we'd love to help you out. Otherwise, take it easy and I'll see you in the next one.